Hello, my lovelies. I am so excited to film this. I have made myself a cup of tea in my spring dedicated mug. So if you haven't got one already, go make yourself a cuppa, or, well, a cuppa of anything. A cup of tea, cup of coffee, cup of hot chocolate, cup of water, whatever you fancy. And let's get springy. Let's talk spring. So as you just saw from that little B-reel that I've just put together, I took you book shopping with me for my spring TBR. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to show you what I got. As you saw, I went to Waterstones, I went to Toppings, and I've also got one book from Mr. B's as well. If you're not aware, Mr. B's is an independent bookstore here in Bath. Toppings, I think there's like, actually it says on the bag, Bath, Edinburgh, Ely and St. Andrews. It's not a big chain. They've only got a few stores in the UK, but obviously you've got Waterstones, which is a chain. But I am ready to show you the books we picked up. I definitely went in with a specific kind of genre that I had in mind, which you will definitely probably grasp already by the shots that I filmed in the bookshops. I'm pretty sure I've got 8 books in total. I think it's seven books in total. 3 from Waterstones, 3 from Toppings, and then the 1 from Mr. B's. So enough jibber jabber. Let's just get on, let's crack on with it. Random side note, I've recently been putting honey in my tea instead of sugar. Absolute game changer. So let's start with Waterstones, because Waterstones is where I went to first. So I feel like it makes the most sense to start there. Or should we start with Mr. B's? Because Mr. B's only got 1. So I have been wanting to read this book for probably about a year, and every time I went into a bookshop, I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. And then every time I asked, like, do you have this book in stock? They'd always say, really sorry, no, but we can order it for you. And I don't know, I just never wanted to order it. I always wanted to take it there and then. But when I went into Mr. B's, I'd already kind of been to the other bookshops, and I was just a bit like, I want this book. Every time I look up like a spring TBR, this book 9 times out of 10 is on it. Either that or it's in an autumn TBR. It's one of those, it's cozy. We're going for cozy vibes, and it's speaking to me and I wanted it. So when I went to Mr. B's, they said we can order it for you, and I went, yes, please. So that's what happened. And that is Shady Hollow by, and I am so sorry because I'm definitely going to pronounce this wrong, Janu Black. I'm so sorry, I am definitely pronouncing that wrong. But Shady Hollow is the first in, I want to say, a trilogy of these cozy murder mystery series. And the reason why it's so cute and cozy is because all the characters are animals. So I'm pretty sure our main character is a fox. I don't actually know anything about the plot of this book. I've just seen it on so many TBRs, and it just sounds so cute and cozy. I feel like it's giving Agatha Christie vibes a little bit, but make all the characters animals, like forest creatures. What does it say on the back? In the woodland community of Shady Hollow, you'll discover a secret. Moose and mice, owls and bears live side by side in civilized harmony. Shady Hollow has a coffee shop and a bookshop, a haberdasher and a bank. All is well until the town's querulous toad shows up dead. It's something this village hasn't seen before, a murder. Vera Vixen is new in town. She has a nose for news and catches the scent of a story, one that leads her to dark places. As she stirs up the still waters, the fox exposes more than one mystery, and the folks in Shady Hollow learn that some of their neighbours are lying, while others are downright dangerous. It will take all of Vera's cunning and quickness to come out alive. Oh, that sounds so good. Okay, I'm so excited to read this now. And it's not a big book at all. Oh, this is so exciting. I cannot wait to pick this up. You can't see it yet, but it's there. We're starting the stack small. I guess I can quickly show you this. I got this from Waterstones. I got myself a new bookmark with a cute little tassel on the end, and on it it says, though she be but little, she is fierce. And I just thought it was really, really cute. And I've seen quite a few booktubers recently using bookmarks with tassels, and they look really cute. And I was kind of getting a bit of FOMO, so I treated myself to a new bookmark. These next 3 books, 2 of them I knew that I wanted. They were on my spring wish list for about a year, and I knew I wanted to get these 2 books. And then the 3rd book I kind of got relating to my uni degree, so I think I'll show you that one first. The book that I got that's kind of related to my uni degree, and I'm gonna kind of use it towards one of my assignments, is The Language of Flowers by Mandy Kirkby. So this is basically a book about the language of flowers, and I believe it's based off of the Victorians. Yeah, few may realise an entire language of flowers was created by the romantic early Victorians. So basically the idea of like every flower has its own meaning, and if you put like together a really beautiful bouquet, and each flower within the bouquet would represent something different. And this is basically just a little encyclopedia of all the different flowers and all their different meanings. One, the cover, the book itself is gorgeous. And then just the illustrations inside as well are so pretty. So I'm really looking forward to kind of delving into another language of flowers, I guess you could say. Okay, so these next two books, like I said before, these are two books that I knew that I wanted. I wanted them, so I got them, basically. The first book, which I swear is on every single cozy fantasy reading list, is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I have wanted this from the day it was released, and I just never got my hands on it. I just never got around to picking it up. And then the second book, I think, was released pretty recently. So the kind of resurgence for this book has kind of been propping up all over social media again. And I was like, now is the time. This spring is the spring that I'm going to spring into Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I want it, and I'm getting it. So this is by Heather Fawcett. And it just sounds like a fun time. It doesn't sound high stakes at all. She is just studying the world of fairies, and I think there's a little bit of a romance plot in it as well, which I will devour. So, and again, the covers of all of these books are just gorgeous, and they are exactly the vibe that I'm looking for right now. Gentle pastels, whimsical fairy vibes, cottagecore vibes. That's exactly what I want, and this is what this book is hopefully going to give me. So speaking of whimsical fairy tale-esque vibes, the next book that I'm so excited to read, because I've heard such amazing things about it, is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Yes, Olivia Atwater. I've just heard phenomenal things about this book, and I've heard it's Bridgerton meets fairy tale. And as a girlie that's currently living in Bath, I need to read this ASAP. I need to read this. And cozy fantasy, spring, now is the time to read this book. And I think another thing I'm really loving about all these books is they're not too big. I don't think any of them are really over 300 pages, which is wonderful. That's such a nice kind of number. And because a lot of fantasies are like 500 plus pages, and that can be quite daunting for a fantasy. So this new subgenre of cozy fantasy, I'm so excited to explore, because I haven't really explored it yet, and this is always on people's reading lists when it comes to cozy fantasy. Yeah, again, I think this is a duology, so I am excited to get into this. Those are the books that I have purchased from Waterstones. Next, we will go to the books that I bought at Toppings. Moving on and sticking to the low stakes cozy fantasy theme that I've got going on, I couldn't walk away without picking up Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. Now, I saw this in Waterstones, and I picked it up and I looked at it, and I've heard of it, and again, it's on everybody's cozy fantasy low stakes radar. And I picked it up in Waterstones, and I put it back down. I walked away, I didn't get it, and then when I went into Toppings and I saw it, I was just like, why would I not get this? Like, why? I love this cover. I just love it. I much prefer this cover to the other cover. Again, this is one of those books that has been on my radar for about a year, and I've been putting it off for no real reason. And again, cozy fantasy, low stakes, that's the vibe I want, and this is, I feel like, top of that list. Like, is she an orc? She's an orc barbarian, Viv, orc barbarian. She has decided to hang up her axe and open a coffee shop. Yes, give me that bad girl turned into cozy coffee shop owner vibes. Yes, please. I am ready for it. Oh, I'm loving it. This next book, I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't get it when I saw it in the works about 6 months ago, because I could have gotten it near enough half price, but I didn't. I left it, and again, it got to a point where I was like, I just want to read this book. I just want to read it, and I now don't care about finding it cheaper anywhere else. I just want it, and I really wanted to get this edition of it as well. And that is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. Now, the reason I wanted to get this edition, the 90th edition, is because it's got illustrations from E.H. Shepard, who illustrated Winnie the Pooh. And I love Winnie the Pooh so much. If you watched my cottagecore book haul from last spring, you would have seen that I picked up a Winnie the Pooh book in a charity shop, and I just reminds me of home. Like Winnie the Pooh, that even the visuals of E.H. Shepard's drawings are so nostalgic and cozy and such a safe space for me. So I really wanted to get this edition because I knew that E.H. Shepard has done illustrations for this edition. And when I was in Toppings and I saw it, I was like, just get it. It's been a rough week. Treat yourself. So I did, and again, all characters giving similar vibes to Shady Hollow, as in like all the characters are animals. It's woodland creatures going on an adventure. I can't really ask more from a cozy spring book. Now, the last book in this book haul was a bit of a last minute add to the spring list. And it's because I literally went onto Google and I was like, cozy spring fantasy book recommendations. And this popped up in quite a few of them. And I have heard pretty good things about this book and this author in general. I deliberately went out looking for it, found it, and I got it. And that is The House in the Civilan Sea by T.J. Klune. I think they've recently released a newer book. I think I saw it in there, but this I'm not really 100% sure what it's about, but I think it's about a orphanage that's filled with children that are like magical creatures, and the main character is like the social worker who goes in to all these like troubled kids, and it's like his relationship with each of the different children. So I think that's where the fantasy comes into it, because it's mythical creatures, I'm pretty sure. Linus Baker leads a quiet life. At 40, he has a tiny house with a devious cat and his beloved records for company. And at the department in charge of magical youth, he's spent many dull years monitoring their orphanage. Then one day, Linus is summoned by extremely upper management and given a highly classified assignment. He must travel to an orphanage where 6 dangerous children reside, including the Antichrist. There, Linus must somehow determine if they could bring on the end of days, but their guardian, charming and enigmatic Arthur Parnassus, will do anything to protect his wards. As Arthur and Linus grow ever closer, Linus must choose between duty and his dreams. I'm assuming there's also kind of like a friendship element to this book as well, which sounds quite interesting. And again, the cover is gorgeous, and the cover of the author's other books as well all look really beautiful. Little information about the author in the front says, being queer himself, TJ believes it's important, now more than ever, to have accurate, positive queer representation in stories. So maybe, is this a little bit of a queer romance maybe? Or is there queer romance in it? That would be so amazing. That would be fabulous. Ooh, okay, I'm really excited to read this now. Well, not that I wasn't excited before, but I'm now even more intrigued. House in the Civilan Sea. Very excited to read this. I just look at this. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. I'm so excited to read these books. I really needed this. I really needed this spring shopping book haul extravaganza. especially after finishing a heavy fantasy of such as House of Sky and Breath. Just having these smaller, cozy, low-stake fantasies just really is speaking to me right now. And that one, cozy, is cozy. This was the vibe. The vibe was cozy. I've got cozy murder mystery and I've got cozy fantasy, and that is exactly what I wanted. Am I going to make this an ultimate book video and start one of these today? I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave today's video here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you have read any of these books, and if you have, did you like them, did you not? Are any of these on your spring TBRs? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, if they're not, what is on your spring TBR? I'd love to know. But thank you so much for joining me on this little spring shopping trip and TBR book haul. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye!